it all serious.
Michigan Panthers available. We'll open it up with a statement from head coach Mike Nolan.
Okay. Certainly it's nice to win a game, especially because it's a divisional game. So it was a big game for both teams. Oddly enough, as much as the score was lopsided, I think our entire football team felt like it was a close game the whole time, regardless of the score. I mean, they're very explosive on offense, and so I thought it was a game that everyone competed to the very end. So that was kind of exciting to see. Very proud of the offense. The offense did an outstanding job today. A lot of players did well. Obviously, Wes here had a few touchdowns himself. I thought Danny did a great job in the football game, doing the quarterback's position, obviously, but that was great. What else was there? Special teams did a good job in the ball game, and I thought the defense with the takeaways was really instrumental in the win. I thought they did a great job of that. Probably gave up a few yards. Some in that one big play, obviously, is disappointing, but otherwise, the ball disruption on defense was very good. That's it.
Cool. We'll open it up to questions. Anybody in the room? Yes.
Yes, sir.
You guys almost held Memphis scoreless in the first half. Can you talk about what your defense were doing to complicate things with Showboats?
I don't want to, say it was something that we did out of the norm. We adjust as everyone does. You adjust your coverages for the opponent you're going to have during the week, and we did have to adjust some things coming out of last week's game. We felt there were some things we did that cost us that football game, so we adjusted those things. I'm certain, they're a well-coached football team. They kind of had probably figured out what we were doing not too long into the ball game. That's why it was a closer game than some may think. But in the first half, what I was really pleased about, and I didn't say it earlier, I guess, is that we came out and fast in the football game, and we played fast throughout the game. That was very pleasing. That was a big thing for us. So if anything got them off balance, it might have been that our tempo was a little better this time than it's been the last few weeks.
Go to James.
Coach, you lose your starting quarterback, E.J. Perry, likely for the year. For the offense to come out and score 35 points, the rushing performance you had, what did you see out of the offense today, and then also the game that Marcel Belichick called?
Well, I think Marcel called a great game, but getting back to the quarterback position, yes, look, in training camp, Danny and EJ went at it the entire time. It's a tough decision at the beginning of the year to decide who the starter was. So when Danny, obviously a week ago, when the news came back about EJ, having to go on IR and all, it's obviously never good news when a player gets injured or has to go on IR. But we felt very confident, and we still do, in Danny's abilities. He was just kind of waiting for the opportunity, as EJ would have been had Danny gotten the job at the very beginning of that happened. So, that's kind of where that lies.
Anything else? We can ask a question online.
Yes, sir.
For Danny and Wes, how much in the moment were you guys talking about just taking advantage of opportunity after the turnovers?
All right. Go ahead, Wes. The message that's going into this game, right? Pre-game speech was starting fast. We just wanted to make the most of these opportunities because we knew they were going to come, right? We knew we have a great defense. They want to give us opportunities to make plays, and we just got to build off it, right? So just playing complementary football and just going off the momentum.
Yeah, the same thing. I mean, that was trying to give our defense a lead to play with and trying to really take advantage of those was huge. But they also made it easy for us, giving us great field position and special teams making plays like Wes did. And, it was an all-around effort, and couldn't be more proud of this team.
Coach, for you, the play that you challenged, obviously those guys were right in front of you. Did you see that live and know that was a penalty? Were you pretty confident immediately that you would win that challenge?
I did not see it. It came from the booth, which is where that is kind of their job to watch that. Sometimes if I were to see it, I didn't see it. They saw it. They're pretty adamant about it. It was also a very big play late in the game. If I didn't use it then, when would I have used it? You know what I'm saying? And they had the momentum with the play, so it was the right time. But had they not seen it up in the booth and told me, I wouldn't have challenged it. So credit to them. Christian Runja is our defensive guy in the booth, and he's the one that they called down. He's pretty adamant about the infraction, and he was right.
Go to James.
Wes, you've been playing well all season, but your first 3 touchdowns of the year today, were you kind of saving them for this week? Was that, part of what you're doing? Or, what did you see out there?
It just worked in the cards that way, right? It was a big game for me personally, right? Playing against all my old staff, so had some fun with that, and just went out there, and they gave me some opportunities, and just ran with it, right? So had some fun out there.
Anything else in the room? Got a couple online from Mike Mueller, BCP Plus. Wes, with E.J. Perry being out, did the team feel any extra motivation or added pressure to get the running game going for Danny?
You know, when you lose a player like EJ, man, it's going to be tough, right? But we had Danny in there, and Danny took control of the huddle, you know, all week, you know, and had rallied the guys behind him, and we got 100% faith in him. So we were able to go out there, and, you know, the running backs were able to answer the call. We were able to go out there, start fast, and, you know, make it a little easy for Danny today.
Danny, one more from Mike Mueller. Just getting into the rhythm and everything, you know, get maybe a slower start in the first half. What was it like in the second half to kind of get going?
Yeah, I mean, the first half was obviously a weird half with the rain and just trying to handle those elements. And then, you know, once everything kind of dried off and we got some play calls that, you know, really took advantage of their stuff, we were able to, you know, push the ball down the field a little bit more aggressively and kind of run what we originally were trying to in the first half. But, you know, Marcel called a great game where he was, you know, really taking advantage of what the weather was and how we were able to still move the ball and still score and capitalize on opportunities despite, you know, having to deal with some elements.
Yeah, and last one for Coach from Mike Mueller, BCP Plus. What goes into the decision-making between deciding to punt or put the opposing team in poor field position versus a field goal with when you have Jake Bates?
Or a fake punt.
Or a fake punt.
What goes into that?
Good call.
I would say, obviously, you want to feel like you're going to be successful, so it's kind of that's the first thing you look at. But the second thing is, if you're not successful, what's the downside of it? For example, we did try that long one earlier, and the downside was they were at midfield, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if they may have got a field goal or a touchdown out of that. I can't remember now. Matter of fact, they didn't, but I remember the whole time we did it, and the ball was at the 48, and they took over the drive. I thought, that was a dumb thing to do. You know. But again, so you kind of look at the plus and minuses for if you don't get it. But if you're, you know, I thought it was, to this point, Jake had not missed any field goals. And so I thought it was the right thing to do for our football team. But it'd been also nice to back the opponent up.
For sure. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
All
Thank
set.
you all. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, guys.
Thanks.
Have a good one.